Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. I'm Vito. I'm the founder of Atarim. Let me just make sure that we're actually going live because I see that StreamYard is telling me that there might have been a problem with some of the Facebook feeds. So I'm going to check this out. And if you can see me already, I would love to get some feedback from you guys. Tell me where you're from, where are you joining us from, and how is the day been for you so far? Today we're going to be talking a little bit about community. Bring the chair up a little bit even more. Okay, that's great. We're going to be talking about community, what it does, what it did, and what it's doing for our business, but also how you can use that to leverage community over to your own company, to your own brand, and why it's such an awesome idea, or maybe not such an awesome idea. I'm going to leave this to you. I'm going to weigh in the pros and the cons of running a community on Facebook. And we're going to see from that. So we see Crash It Vito. I can see Facebook user. I don't know who you are, so thank you. But please click the link above the inside the description so I can actually see who is contacting me. And we have someone joining us from the UK, so that's good. Probably just around the corner or in the same corner, really. So building a community for your brand, and we have Tanya. Tanya, how are you? I haven't seen you since the summit. It's good to see you here. So we're gonna be talking about what we've learned. We're going to be celebrating 2,000 members, which is a huge, huge achievement that I'm very proud of. And I'm also going to talk about why we're doing this, what's next, what's the future of our Facebook community. There's a bunch of changes coming as of today. We have Rosie. How are you doing, Rosie? It's good to see you as well. And let's just dive in. So first of all, congratulations to us, congratulations to you, to the entire team, the entire user base. Thank you so much for being with us. As we're reaching 2 years, so we're going to be celebrating 2 years since our launch next month. So it's been a crazy journey over the past 2 years, as you guys could witness through our Facebook group, through our community. And I'm very proud that we have 2,000 users in the Atarim community. So thank you very much. Now, what we learned from 2 years of running a community, and I can tell you a little bit about my background running these communities. This is not my first rodeo with this thing. It actually started from the music days. You know, when you're trying to promote a band, when you're trying to promote like an artistic kind of product. YouTube is crystal clear. 147 Dev. Good to see you guys. Yeah, perfect. And so I actually been running these communities for a long time. As a musician, it was one of the key things to getting your music out there, to getting your brand out there, our music brand out there. But also because the product that we were promoting wasn't such high value. You know, there's so many bands, there's so many competition out there in the music space. So having a tight community around our brand really helped us grow. It allows us to find where to travel around the world, which places do people want to come and see us. So these were all discussions that we were running through our groups, and we had well, the maximum size of the group that we had was 11,000 people, and that gave us so much clarity about the future, about where we're going to be touring, what we're going to be doing. When we released something, it already made an impact. When we needed the help of our community, they came to our help. So it really, and you get to meet so many amazing people through these experiences. So that's where I really started with this. And so through my agency days, I was more active in Facebook communities than managing Facebook communities. So I was just, like replying to questions that people were posting on other groups and trying to share my knowledge as much as possible, listening to other people, learning from them. And that really helped me on my journey building my agency from starting freelancer, moving to an agency. And so when we decided to go down the product route, it was super clear to me that we're going to have a Facebook community from day one. And through the community, really on the first email that we sent out was an invitation to a closed group of beta testers, that this was where the beta was going on. People were asking questions. This is where we were kind of getting everyone hyped about the product. And so that when we actually released it to the market, we already had a small group of 100 followers that were talking on our behalf and echoing the message that we were trying to convey. So our community is one of the key aspects that shapes our platform and transformed it into what it is today. And as you know, we started as a small, very niche WordPress plugin that performed a very precise action, but based on user feedback, based on discussions that we found inside the Facebook group mostly. And so we have communications coming from support as well, but really the Facebook group is where I am, is where I am interacting with you guys. So, and that's what I'm bringing back to our weekly meetings. That's where what I bring to the roadmap discussions, the problem discussions, and so on. And so it really helped shape our product from being a very niche WordPress plugin to being a platform, a SaaS platform that serves thousands of freelancers and agencies all around the world, only within less than 2 years, and all fully bootstrapped, as you guys know. And so one other thing that it really helped me clarify in the beginning, it helped me put faces to names. So you see requests coming in on the support feed, but you don't know the people. You don't really have a kind of a personality to associate with that person. But even now from the chat here, and I would love to see. I see we have a few more people joining us. So please let me know that you are here. Who is here? So I can bring you on the screen. But I can also see that Rosie, that I got to know through Andrew and has been active on social media. Tanya, we got to know very well through their 147 Dev. I never know who is behind the 147 Dev, but I know the agency because you guys are active on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and on our Facebook group. So it really helped me put faces to the names, but also it helps you guys see me and see Jerome and understand that there are people behind the product that are working every day tirelessly to make sure that everything is working as it should, and that we keep developing it and keep expanding the experience. Now, it also creates a really cool sense of belonging to something bigger, and this is something that especially with a tool like ours, trying to create something that is beyond the tool itself. Because really, it's a pretty innovative concept of putting those stickers on a website or managing the agency in the way that we are preaching for. We're not really conservative in the way that we're talking about things. We're not really, or specifically, I am not really the one that just conforms to the way that the industry is doing things. I ask why always. I keep asking why. And by discussing those different workflows, those different features, those different ideas, it helps everyone come together into this something that is bigger, something that is greater than just the product or just each one of us. Now, it's also a great place for us to get good and bad feedback that is constructive, with, of course, the friendly environment that is stopping any destructive criticism. But I'm also going to tackle this point a little bit on the decisions, whether to do it or whether to not. I know a lot of friends that are product makers in our space that decided not to go down this route because they were just scared of something like this happening, from discussions that might spiral on social media. And I can tell you personally, it is stressful sometimes and it is scary sometimes, but it does serve the purpose of making the product better and making the company stronger. So that's why I still think that this is a good point for us. Now, things can easily backfire. And you can see that I'm trying to be always as transparent as possible with everything that we're doing inside Atarim. And not always it goes down well. You're also part of some experiments that don't go as planned. A good example is the community that we launched at the beginning of last year, just as COVID hit. Then COVID hit us. We had to kind of pivot our ideas, but also pivot our roadmap. So it left kind of a gap with those with some projects that we were initiating but never got into fruition. And these things create, you're kind of announcing things to the world, and that can backfire if you're not standing behind everything that you do. And this is like an exploratory process, building a product, building a company, and so things change as you know and as you can see. Now, making sausages isn't a pretty process, so just trying to keep that in mind as we're kind of building things out, as we're releasing more and more things into the wild. Things sometimes work, sometimes they don't, and then you have to readjust according to this. A really good example of this is, for example, there is the Elementor group. It's a huge group, 100,000 people that are connected to the group over there. And every time that they release an update, Elementor has millions of users, but there's going to be 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 people that didn't follow standard procedures, didn't update properly, or had some conflict with other tools, and then straight away it goes into the feed that's supposed to be like a celebration of something, but then it obviously sometimes backfires for the company. So try to mitigate that and make sure that everyone is part of the game. Is something that we're learning. We've learned, but we're also learning through the process as well. Now, let's talk about you a little bit, or about being an agency, and why do agencies need to build Facebook communities? Does it even make sense? And there's a few examples even inside our group of people that have successfully done that. That includes Chris, that includes Andrew, that includes Adrian, that I see is very active in some kinds of the different groups. That includes Kyle, that includes Nathan, Davinder, a bunch of people that decided to take their own personal brand and take it to the next level by building a group that is for other agency owners, other freelancers within this space. Another approach to this can be to actually build something around your niche. So this is something that I've experienced or experimented with before. Through the agency, we were serving charities, mostly nonprofits. So we had a very small group, a few hundred people, that were kind of discussing the digital aspect of running nonprofits. And that brings me to the first point on the screen here, which is knowing the purpose. So the vision of that group was to help nonprofits digitize their processes, digitize their operations. And my agenda really was to sell them websites, to sell them marketing services, to acquire grants. There's like these Google grants that we were acquiring for or attaining for nonprofits. But the point is that there was a vision and there was a mission for the community. And if you find that within your own niche, and so this can be a super powerful tool to help you take things to the next level. When I say that, you want to make sure that, and which brings me to the next point, that you know your niche inside and out. You know who the audience is. That's why for me it was a really, really easy transition to open a group for freelancers and agencies, because I am one myself, even within our team. And this is something that is important to me for every new hiring that we do, that even on the support, even on the development side, even on the marketing side, every person that joins was a freelancer or was part of an agency or was running an agency at some point. And that gives us the ability to know our audience on a different level compared to people that are kind of hiring from the outside, or even yourselves going from your position and trying to accommodate a new niche that you are going to be working in. So knowing the niche and knowing the audience is very important, because some things that you think are kind of innovative, and I felt that when I was serving nonprofits, kind of innovative and kind of like, oh my God, I discovered something incredible here. They already forgot about these things. So make sure that you are really a part of the group that you're trying to serve, instead of just trying to talk at them. Now, next one is be nice, but also you want to know where the line is, because you don't want to be stepped on. And this is something that people will regularly test you with. They will test your limit. Most people, I believe, are nice in nature. They just want to do something good in life. They want to build businesses. They want to provide for their families. They don't want to create mess. But then there's always the few that create or seed poison in certain situations. And it's important to know where you draw the line before you get into this game of running a community, so that you can come in and say, no, this is a no-go for our community. This is not how we do things. A good example of someone that is not afraid to do that is Mo Cohen, who has an amazing community for designers here on Facebook. And she's when someone is steps out of line, she goes at them, and she's not afraid of it. And I love that about her. And for the rest of the time, of course, she's super nice, super collaborative. She's very informative. She's very transparent with everything that she's doing. So be nice, but you got to know where your limit is. And then you want to keep evolving the community and try to steer it in the right direction, because these things can move even without you noticing. And a good example is what happened to us over the past couple of months. So as we were launching version 2.0, my entire focus was going into product. We did no marketing. We did nothing except for the we ran the summit with a different team. But during the day, and even the summit, it started in the evenings here in the UK. So the entire work day was working on the product itself with the dev team. And what happened is that because my focus was there, so the community kind of slowly steered into becoming a support feed, which wasn't the initial purpose. It wasn't the vision of the community, and it's not the mission of the community. So we're going to steer this back in the right direction. And this conversation is also part of this as well. So you want to keep evolving, keep understanding what's going on. And I can see Tanya is telling us she has a code of conduct in place for my communities. Members have to agree to it, makes calling them out on bad behavior easy. And that's true. And I'm going to get to this one on the next slide, Tanya. And this is a really good point, because if you set expectations, then no one is surprised. That being said, this is a good point. This kind of collects to the point that I'm talking about right now, which is keep evolving. Because even with the code of conduct, and even with a set of rules and a set of purpose or a set purpose for the community, things change. The business evolves over time. 2 years in, we're not the same company that we've been when we got into this game at all, and we're at a completely different scale. On the Facebook group, the first discussions that were had in there were just like a handful of people, a few hundred people. But now, fortunately, we're celebrating 2,000 people, which puts us at a different kind of game. And we have to evolve around this and steer the community into the right direction as we're having these conversations internally. Then another thing that you want to keep in mind when you're building those communities is generating regular and unique content. Because in a lot of those Facebook groups, when you jump between them, you always see the same stuff being discussed, and it just kind of gets boring a little bit, and it doesn't give your community an edge over the others. So if you're building this for your own agency, finding the right niche to serve, and then trying to create a community around this niche, first of all, of course, you're going to build an amazing level of not collaboration, but a simulation to your brand, and you're gonna create the sense of that people can come to you when they have questions, because they know that you are the expert. You create the authority. Authority is the term that I was looking for. So it creates an amazing level of authority over the community, over the group of people, and but to nurture that, you must keep generating content on a regular basis and make sure that it's special. There is something special about it. Now, that being said, you don't want to limit yourself, because you know, we're all just standing on the shoulders of giants that has been here before us. So it's not that everything that we're gonna do is just gonna be super innovative and completely out of the box. But the really getting it done is better than making it perfect, in my opinion. So just making sure that some things is regular. This is another thing that I can also learn myself from this, that I keep telling myself, because as a business owner, it's very easy for us to focus on an aspect of the business and move over to another aspect and fix whatever is maybe broken there, and then move over to another aspect of the business, is fix it again, you know, and reorganize in the different areas of the organization. And so that creates irregularities when you have regular tasks around this. And I'll show you how we're going to be tackling this also over the next quarter. But this is a really good point that needs to be important. Now, creating regular content, and I think if we're looking at GoWP's group, Emily is doing an incredible job over there at generating regular webinars. Every week there's a webinar. Every Monday there is like, what are you guys doing this week? Every Friday they have the happiness hour, they call it, where everyone comes in and just have a chat together. So creating a few of those milestones throughout the week is really the way to go to keep you accountable for creating content. And then finally, be yourself. You know, don't try to put on a persona. Don't try to make yourself look more than you are, or have people kind of you know, presume that you are this or not the other, because these things always you know, backfire big time, because you know, no one can wear a mask all the time. So might as well just be yourself. Share some stuff about yourself, so that people can actually relate to who you are, and not some kind of a fictional kind of character that you're trying to create for that community. And that again comes into knowing the niche, knowing the audience, and even better, if you are one of them, then it's a lot easier for people to connect to people that are that have close affinity to who they are, you know, that vibe on the same level. So that's a huge point. Even I think the most important point out of all of these things, just be yourself and be consistent about it, and then everything else is going to work around it. Now, some tips for building your own community. So we're talking about the things that you want to think about before you go into this process. And now I'm going to tell you a few things that you can do to get started today. So first of all, after you figured out the vision, you know your niche, you know your audience. Let me go back here 1 second. You know your audience, you know where you set the line is, and keep evolving is kind of an ongoing process, but then generating regular content, maybe even deciding early on that on this day I'm going to do this, on this day I'm going to do that. And of course, just be yourself. That should be the easiest part out of this thing, but I know that a lot of people are struggling with this as well, especially with this kind of with this online reality that we're living in, and people are building like these online personas instead of just being honest about who they are. So tips for building your own: put yourself out there, create a video to welcome everyone. And I've had this discussion with a few group owners or agency owners that run Facebook groups, and really, video is such a strong tool inside those groups. So just doing something like I'm doing right now, putting myself out there. I'm sitting alone in a room while the baby is crying in the background and my wife is taking care of her. But I am here focused on you guys, and you can see me, and I can see people that are commenting here on the side. So this creates a really cool interaction between us, and it generates more interactions along the way, because those videos are still in the group, so people are still watching them, and we can see people commenting on even very, very old videos that are posted inside our group. And next up, I'm going to bring this Tanya's point here. So she's saying code of conduct is much more effective than just the Facebook rules, and I agree. And this is what it's like. I have code of conduct in place for my communities. Members have to agree to it. Makes calling them out on bad behavior easy. So I agree that it's kind of to be honest, Tanya, I don't see much of a difference between the two. Or you can use the Facebook rules tool to insert your code of conduct and to have people agree on that. Really, my point of view on this one is that you want it to be visible so that people can actually see it as soon as they join the group. And we even ask people to say, are you going to be nice? They have to say, yes, I'm going to be nice before they join the group. And that's such a small thing, but if someone states this to themselves, they can't say that we haven't asked. So that is in line with what you want to achieve. We encourage our members to post their websites and get feedback. So this is something that we've played with a few times in the past, but we're seeing some issues with streaming to Facebook. Let's see. Right. So I'm going to continue, and you can see this is one of those live broadcast issues. And you know what? Let me find the YouTube link before this continues, and then I'm going to share this in the Facebook group, because I can see that the video ended over there. Give me 1 second. All right. So Facebook crashed. You can join me here. Cool. So I'm going to continue here with this concept. Let's see. Hopefully Facebook is going to sort this out soon. And let's move Tanya out of this one. Right. So creating a code of conduct, that's a really important thing to do as you're building your group. And that's one of the first things that Facebook is going to ask you to do. Then engage consistently with new posts, but don't overdo it, because you can see in some groups where people are just like posting 10 times a day. It happens really early on when you get excited about this, because you're getting like interactions and you're getting some people to respond to this. But then it also kind of tells people that this one is a little too much. So you want to try and find the middle ground, what is comfortable for you, what is comfortable for your members, and really try to let the conversation happen naturally or organically within the group itself, instead of you needing to do it from that aspect. And you know what, I'm going to try and see if I can rebroadcast this. No, it's going to go to the Facebook page and to the YouTube page, to the YouTube channel as well. And then finally, advertising group, and this is a really big one. Advertising the group is something that I did it myself a few times. You open a group and then what? Right? You're not sure exactly what's going to be the next step, how to really take things from just having a handful of users, or how to get outside of your circle of friends. So trying to interact in other Facebook groups is a great idea to draw attention over to yours as well, but also having some kind of a lead magnet around this that you're promoting in other places. Add this to your email signature so that your clients can come and join the group as well. And so there's all kinds of different marketing methods to drive people in, and you want to think of this as a way to warm people up to what you have to say. Another way is to and also to be able to communicate with them on an ongoing basis instead of just being like one-off conversation. Let's see if everyone is joining me here on this. Okay, cool. Nice. So advertise your group. Next. So what is next? So the future of the Atarim community. So I wish this was shown inside the Facebook group, and I'm gonna crop this part of the video, and I'm gonna upload it in there as well to replace the Facebook problem that is happening here. But this is what's coming next. So first of all, it will no longer be a support interface. So as we're seeing a lot of people that are posting their personal experiences with the tool, whether it's good, whether it's not good, it shouldn't be a place to provide support one-to-one. That's why we have live chat. That's why we have a support desk that you can email to, and that should be the only channels that you will be using from now on. Which means that we're going to be updating our policies inside the group, and every post that is a support request that is coming in, and it already started happening, we're just sending a support agent your way instead of you being able to post a unique bug. But if it's something that is like a learning process for everyone, then it might get approved. But you need to consider that if you have a specific problem, maybe some kind of a plugin conflict, maybe I don't know, a slow website of some sort, then that's what support is about. Then we have extended the community team. So we have a new team member that is joining us, that's joined us this week, and she will be helping me a lot on the different stuff around managing the Facebook group, as well as other marketing related tasks that we have on our day-to-day activities. So we want to create a bit more consistent flow because, as I mentioned before, it's very easy for the founder or for the business owner to jump from one category of the business or one aspect of the business to the next, from product to support, or the support team, and then to the marketing team, and then different projects and different partnerships and all of that. And then sometimes things are left to the side when they have to be consistent. So having someone that is dedicated to this is the right thing from this point. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to be here. I'm still going to be interacting a lot on the Facebook group, but Disha is going to be here to catch the ball when I can. And then next we're gonna do, so we're already started doing those weekly calls or these weekly training sessions, coaching sessions as we call them, like this one exactly, inside the group and posted to our social channels. But we're also introducing another weekly session, which is gonna be a demo call, weekly announcements, and Q&A. So I wanna make sure that everyone gets to know our platform and implement all that it has to offer for your business as much as possible. So this way, with demo call, we're gonna quickly go through the product every single week for new people that are joining us, because we have new users joining every week, and sometimes they get lost. And also for prospects that are still kind of on the fence, still growing their business, so they're not in a place where our platform is still solving their immediate pain points, and so they're kind of just like sitting on the fence, waiting for it to happen to them, which eventually, dealing with clients at scale or managing projects quickly happens to everyone. And so that's what the weekly demo course is going to be. But also, we're pushing things out every single week. As you already see, since day one, every week I make sure that I keep you guys posted on what we're working on, what we already finished this week. And so the weekly announcement is going to be added over to those demo calls, quick demo call, and then weekly announcement. And then there's going to be time for Q&A. so you guys can bring questions, how you're dealing with this client or that client, what is the best way to implement this workflow within your agency, whether it's gathering content, whether it's approving designs, providing support, maybe getting the sitemaps going, maybe getting the wireframes going. This is all part of what the tool can already offer, how to time track properly, how to look at the KPIs to make educated decisions on the future of the business. So all of those things are going to be things that you guys are going to be invited. You're already invited to bring to us so that we can tackle them one-on-one during those sessions. And so we wanted you to bring as many questions as possible about your agency. And this means that I want you to think about the fact that we have 2,000 agency owners and freelancers inside a group that has probably been to the same struggles, the same processes, and the same challenges that you are going through right now. And so just ask. And believe me, you're going to get an answer from at least one, if not 10 different people inside the group. And so I would like to encourage this conversation to happen more and more inside our Facebook group. Really, it's an amazing resource to have 2,000 agency owners grouped into one place. And we can all utilize that to our businesses. So as I'm wrapping this one up, I would like to invite you next Wednesday, and we're going to start with the Atarim demo, announcements, and Q&A. So you can already sign up right here at atarim.io/demo. And this link is going to be so that you can get invited into a Zoom call. The demos are going to be done on Zoom calls, while the webinars like this, the coaching sessions, are going to be done through StreamYard, like I'm doing right now. And so please join us next week. And I'm excited to see a lot of you guys in there. Again, congratulations to us, 2,000 users. Thank you for being with us as we're getting to the 2-year mark for our company. And I'll see you next week.